Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and you are watching episode 94. Today is October the 28th, 2023. This is a podcast where I share my knitting adventures with you and crochet, and today I do have both. It's going to be somewhat of a smaller episode because mostly I have been working on my crochet blanket, which has been taking up a lot of my time, but I do have a knitted finished object, and I have a couple sock projects as well, so not too content heavy, but I wanted to come chat with y'all. So today I am doing this inside. So it's a beautiful day out. We have sun coming in and out though, so there might be a couple lighting issues. This isn't my most favorite setup, but it's pretty windy outside and I didn't want any issues with the tripod being knocked over or wind causing issues with the microphone. So I decided to film it inside. I thought that would be best. So yes, I have talked about this before. We're living in a new house construction and it's not done. So it's not the prettiest setup right now, guys, but hopefully soon I will be able to figure something out. I have my yarn here, some of my yarn here behind me. Let's be honest, I have a lot, but I have some of it here behind me that's still boxed up. I have 3 kitty cats here, and yeah, I just don't want it to be ruined, shall we say, because all 3 of them love yarn. So yeah, I just have it sitting here on my dresser behind me. But all that being said, welcome to my chaos. So yeah, let's just get on with it. Grab your beverage of choice and your knitting. Today I am drinking my coffee in this beautiful mug that I got from Indigo Chapters. I ordered this online. It is a fall pumpkin mug and it holds 12 ounces of coffee, which today, not gonna lie guys, I needed. It's one of those days. This is probably take 70 of getting this podcast started. I'm having issues. I'm not gonna lie. So coffee is much needed. So grab your beverage and your knitting or crochet and let's have a chat. So I'm gonna take a sip of coffee quick. And I will start with what I'm wearing. Today I am wearing my Love Note, which is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. I knit the 2XL size, I believe, and I used Leo and Roxy. It was their MCN base, so it's a superwash merino cashmere, which makes the sweater so soft and drapey. I have knit 3 Love Notes before. I've knit 2 of them. This is the 3rd, and this one is by far my favorite, just because if you haven't knit with an MCN base before, you really should, especially for a garment. It makes it just, it's so squishable and it's just so drapey. Best sweater ever. So for this one I used, like I said, 2 skeins of the fingering and then 2 skeins of mohair. So I held fingering mohair double, and for the 2XL size, that's what I managed to get. I got a full length sweater. I don't do crop. The sweater does come cropped or full length, so I did full length. It does have a high-low hem on it, so the back is longer than the front, which I love. So I managed to knit the whole pattern, like following pattern. The only thing I did different was, depending on your size, is how many of these lace repeats you would do. For my size that I chose, I think I was supposed to do 1 more repeat of these, and I did not. Because I don't want the lace to go too far down. This is a bit showy for me. If I was to go out, I would definitely wear something a little higher underneath it, just because, yeah. But I ended up omitting just 1 repeat of the little, I think they're leaves. I think they're supposed to be leaves. Besides that modification, I did have to make it short sleeved. Usually I would like my sweaters to be like full length, but unfortunately I didn't have enough yarn, and I really did not want to order more yarn to do that. But I'm okay with it because usually I roll my sleeves up anyways, so it works out perfectly. This is my first short sleeved sweater or pullover, and it's actually really nice. I love it. So yeah, it's definitely one of my most favorite knitted garments that I have. So do go check it out. This is, again, the Love Note by Tin Can Knits. It is knit from the top down. Like I said, there is short row shaping for the high-low hem, which, to be quite honest, you don't have to do if you don't like short rows. It does have a provisional cast on. I will touch on this just quickly. I do not like provisional cast on at all. I know that there's a crocheted method, which I have done. There is a knitted method, which I have done, and I do not like either. So what I did was you would cast on a provisional cast on around just before your lace. So what I did is I went forward in the pattern, and after you've knitted the body, you would come back and pick up that provisional cast on to do decreases for your neckline here, and then do your ribbing. So what I did is I jumped forward, looked at the numbers that I needed to decrease down to for my ribbing, and then I casted on that amount of stitches, did my ribbing, and then I increased out to the amount of stitches that I was supposed to cast on, which gave me the correct amount to start my lace panel. I hope that all made sense to you. But if you've been wanting to do this pattern but haven't just because of that provisional cast on, there is a way to do it. And it's super simple. Just jump forward, go to your neckline decreases, see how many stitches that it wanted you to decrease down to for your ribbing, and just cast on that amount of stitches. And then just increase out to whatever you were supposed to cast on, and it works out beautifully. I love it. I have no complaints about it. It's so beautiful, and I adore this sweater. So Love Note Tin Can Knits, highly recommend it. This is, as I said, my third one, and it is a beautiful knit. One of the versions that I did, I omitted the lace altogether and just knit it as a long sleeve full length sweater, and it worked just as well. It's a beautiful sweater, so I do highly recommend it. So that's what I'm cozied up in right now, even though today is, like I said, a very beautiful day. I think it's like 14 degrees Celsius, so it's perfect. It's a perfect fall day sweater. So that's what I'm wearing. So let's now go on to finished objects. I have one finished object. I hadn't even had these casted on the last time I podcasted, but I had a skein of Bissock, which is from Biscott, and I had ordered this online. This is one of their self-striping color-wise, and it's very fall, obviously. So what I did was I split the ball. It was a 100-gram skein. I split it into two 50-gram skeins, and I shared the other half with my bestie Angel. She loves Biscott yarns, so just had to, and these are her colors as well. So we both casted on a shorty sock with it. 50 grams makes the perfect shorty socks. So I ended up, well, we both did 15 rounds of a 2x2 rib, and we did 5 plain knit rounds, and then did a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. For me, I wear a woman's size 8. So after I did my gusset decreases, I did 32 rows of like plain knitting, and then I did my toe decreases, and I still have maybe 2 grams of yarn left over. So on my last pair of shorty socks, I ended up doing, I believe it was 20 rows cuff and then 5 rows of plain knit before the heel, and that worked as well, and I still had yarn left over, but I didn't want to play yarn chicken. But it worked out. It's fine. So now I kind of have an idea of what I can do with just 50 grams without doing contrast. So that's fun. And I do love my shorties. So like I said, these are done. These are a matching pair now with Agel. Like I said, she finished hers as well, and we both love them. It is a beautiful colorway. I don't have the tag with me, of course I don't, but I did create a Ravelry page for it, and I did put the colorway name over there. If you go on to Biscot Yarns, it is a company in Montreal, Canada. It is one of their main colorways. It seems like it's quite popular. So if you head over there and look up their self-striping yarns, you'll have no problem finding this one. It's so beautiful. So that is my finished object. I'm gonna get some pictures of them, and now I can start wearing them. Perfect timing for fall. They are so beautiful. I just love them. So there's my shorties. I didn't follow a pattern, as I said. I casted on 64 stitches on a 2mm magic loop, just because a 2mm gives me the best gauge on magic loop. So yeah, I casted on 64 stitches, 2x2 rib, and then once I got down, once I got finished the cuff, I then decreased down to 56 stitches because I have chunkier ankles, but I want this part, like the heel and the foot part, to be a bit snugger. So I decreased down to 56 for the rest of the sock, and that works for me. I usually do that on all of my socks now, just because it's the better fit. So there's that, and that's all I have for finished objects. So now I'm gonna go over to works in progress. So I have a frog in my throat. I have a pair of Halloween socks, and I was really hoping to have them done for Halloween, but that's not gonna happen, which is fine. It's okay. I am having too much fun with this yarn. I kind of don't want to finish knitting on it. I think I had the cuff done the last time I shared it with you guys. So this was a skein of yarn from my friend Agel. She dyed up this beautiful skein, and as soon as I saw it, it reminded me so much of Halloween, and you can see why. And I love the black speckles. I think that's what drew me in the most. So the one thing that is driving me wild about this yarn is, and I talked about this last time, this is not a self-striping yarn. It's just the way that she dyed up the yarn. And the fact that it is striping like that, it is just so beautiful. I have on here a stitch marker, and I wasn't sure who it was by last time. It is Boho Knits, and it's just a haunted house. There we go, try to get it to focus. And it's just perfect. So with this sock, I am knitting it on my normal 2mm magic loop, and I am following a pattern for this one. I am doing the Slouch sock set by Summerlee Knits. So there's 3 sock patterns in one collection. I'm doing the basic ones, so it's just a ribbed cuff with a plain knit leg, and it's meant to be slouchy. And this is my first pair of slouchy socks, so I'm pretty excited about it. So I do have a full 100-gram skein, and I'm pretty excited. I ended up taking this sock with me to the Kavek knit group, which was I think it was last Tuesday. I'm losing track of my days. The Kavek knit group is in Dieppe, New Brunswick, Canada. And I got to knit with Nancy of the Knit Sip Happy podcast. Hi, Nancy. And Mina at La Volée Gifts & Co. So that is always so much fun. So I got to do that, and I took this sock along with me, and I got to mortar through the leg of it. You're supposed to do, I believe, 8 inches of leg just because they are slouchy socks, but I chose to do 7. Ajel's doing a pair as well, and she did 7 inches as well. So that's as far as I wish to go with mine. I don't want them too slouchy. So I casted on the recommended stitches for the leg, but now just before I go to start my heel flap and gusset, I have decreased down to, I believe, 60 stitches, just because, like I said, I like my foot to be a bit snugger. So that's what I have done. So I'm about to start the heel now. This is still sock 1. Haven't touched this actually since knit group, I don't think. Just been too distracted with my blanket, but I am thoroughly enjoying these. Kind of sad they won't be done for Halloween, but I'm just enjoying them so much. They are just so beautiful. So this is the Slouch sock pattern by Summerlee Knits, and this is the basic one. The collection has a cabled version, and I believe the other one is a striped version as well. So yeah, that is a lot of fun. Definitely recommend Summerlee Knits. And yeah, those are a lot of fun. I was actually just gonna do a quick sidetrack. I was actually really excited. For one, I love going to knit group. Knit group is one of the best things ever. I am not really a sociable person. I can be. If somebody comes up and starts talking to me, I will talk to somebody, but I am very antisocial, and knit group for me is my time to get out and enjoy my kind of people. I love knitting is my life. I love it. So knit group is my way to go out and enjoy, and I was thoroughly surprised and happy because when we got there, my friend Shelby, and if you're watching, hey Shelb, she actually showed up there. I haven't seen her in over 3 years, so that was really exciting to see her and reconnect. So that was pretty awesome. So if you're watching, Shelb, hi. It was so nice seeing you again, and I look forward to many more visits, even outside of knit group. It's so fun. So yeah, that was the highlight of my night. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to say that quickly. So yeah, that was a pretty exciting evening, a lot of fun. So if you're local, do go check out the Kavik knit group, or Shelby was telling me 3 Bags Full, which is a yarn store in Moncton. They actually have knit group every Thursday. So it's from 6 p.m. to 8, and you can bring your knitting and you can sit and join them and knit. So that's pretty exciting too. So if you're local to the Moncton area, do go check it out. That sounds pretty exciting. So the Kavik knitting group is every, I always get this mixed up again. It's the second Tuesday of every month, or the second to last Tuesday of every month. The second last Tuesday of every month. Follow Mana, Lavolay Co. I think I linked her in the description box below. But yeah, that's held only once a month, but it is a wonderful group. And the first time I went there was like a ton of people, but this time it seemed like there was even more people. So do go check out either of those knit groups. They are pretty awesome. I haven't been to the 3 Bags Full one yet though. In the future, I hope. So, okay, ramble done. That was sock 1 that I've been working on. Sock 2, if I can find it, I just casted this one on. So, as I said, I know Halloween is almost here, and these will not be done for Halloween either, but I don't even care. So in this one, this bag here, this is just a bag that I made 2 years ago, I think. It's just a little Halloween sock bag. I have a skein of Polka Dot Creek, and I have been hoarding this a little bit. I haven't been really wanting to use it, which is silly. This is on her self-striping sock set, May 2022. So this is her Lavender Lemonade. So it comes with a 150-gram skein of self-striping yarn, and then it comes with 120-gram mini skein of a contrast in the Lavender Lemonade colorway. So it's going to be a pair of socks, of course. So here is the little mini. It is a beautiful fuchsia. Of course, the lighting is going to be crappy right now, but it is a bright fuchsia colorway. And then that's the 20-gram. And then here is the 50-gram skein. Isn't that pretty? Very, very neon, of course, but it just reminds me so much of Halloween. It does and it doesn't, but it's just so beautiful. And like I said, I've kind of been hoarding it a little bit because I had, focus, there we go. I did have a skein of Lavender Lemonade. There's two versions of it. This is the self-striping version. So Polka Dot Creek did kind of the same colors, but in like a variegated. This is the self-striping. So I think I only had a 20-gram mini skein of the like the variegated version of it, and I loved it so much that when I saw that she did a self-striping one, I just had to get it. And like I said, I've been hoarding it. So I thought, I was looking for a vanilla pair of socks to cast on after I finished the Biscotte ones, and the skein was like sitting right on top, and I'm like, okay, it's time you knit it and enjoyed it. So that's what I'm doing. So again, I'm not following a pattern for this one. I'm just gonna do a pair of vanilla socks, and they're not gonna be shorties this time. They will have a bit of a leg. So I casted on 64 stitches, 2mm magic loop, of course, and I always use Chagus. Chagus are my go-to needle. I really, really love them, especially if I'm gonna do magic loop, because the cord, it's just the best cord to me, in my opinion. But I just casted on 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbing, 15 rows, and now I'm going to start into the self-striping. And I don't know how long I'm gonna make the leg just yet, but I will put a bit of a leg on it, and then I will do the heel in my contrast as well. I don't think I'm gonna do the toe in contrast. I'm just gonna do the cuff and the heel. I was going between doing an afterthought heel or a heel flap and gusset, and I think I'm gonna do my contrast in a heel flap and gusset just because it fits me better. But yeah, so not following a pattern, just a pair of vanilla socks. So I just casted those on, so I'm pretty excited. And if you haven't had a chance to work with Shelly's yarn, you really do need to. Actually, Nancy just posted Knit Sip Happy. She posted on her Instagram vacuums, like different yarn dyers that offered vacuum sealed shipping, which that is an amazing thing. I've ordered several, as Gel sends me yarn vacuum sealed. I have no issues with it at all. It does not wreck your yarn. It just makes it more affordable to ship. So go over to Knit Sip Happy. If I can remember, I'll link her below. She has shared several yarn dyers that offer vacuum sealed shipping, and I love it. It lets us order from our favorite yarn dyers because shipping is more affordable. So I love it when yarn dyers offer that. And the reason why I brought it up is because Shelly at Polka Dot Creek, she offers vacuum sealed shipping as well, which is like $5 Canadian, I believe. So very affordable. It doesn't come with tracking, but at least it's better than paying $15 to $20 for shipping, which makes a skein of yarn kind of unaffordable for most of us. So yeah, so there's that. I do have my Hexi diamond socks with me. I was going to show them, but I don't think I will. Still haven't put a lot of progress on it. It's not a hard pattern, it's just I just haven't worked on it enough that I feel like I really want to share it. So I'm gonna wait till I get some progress on that one before I share it with you guys. So for knitting, that's pretty much all I have worked on. I've just been going nuts on my crocheted blanket. So I'm gonna take a quick sip of coffee here and then I will get on to that. Okay, so I have shared it before, but I am doing the Autumn Coastline Blanket by Mallory Krall. This is currently it is a paid for crochet pattern for a bulky to chunky weight blanket. And currently Mallory, I always forget her Instagram tag. I will post it down below. She is doing a knit along currently with the Creative Knitter for this blanket. So it started September 29th and it goes to October 30th, 31st, something like that. And for each week, for three weeks, she would do 10 sunbursts. So this is a sunburst. It is crocheted, and you would knit 10 of these in a week for 3 weeks, and then week 4 you do your border and you get to finish off your blanket. So I fell behind a little bit, which is why I've been putting so much focus on it. I only have 8 sunbursts left to go, and then I am ready to put it all together. So technically this is week 4 in the crochet along, so I should be putting it together. So you know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. So I got 8 of these to go. They do work up really, really fast though. I'm going between using a bulky yarn to a chunky yarn. They're both getting me the same size of sunburst, so I'm okay with that. Mine's going to be a scrappy version. So if you look at the pattern, Mallory used, I think, 4 different colorways plus her border. I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll possibly have 6 to 7 colorways because I'm doing scrappy. I am trying to use up my stash rather than going out and buying. So that's what I'm doing. So this one here is this one is Lion brand Wool Ease. Don't ask me what the colorway is, because I'm not that great. I don't even think I put the colorway names on my Instagram or my Ravelry yet, but Wool Ease doesn't have a ton of colors, but this was one of their variegated ones, and I thought it was so pretty. So I kind of tried to pull colors out from this one. So out of 2 balls of Wool Ease, I ended up getting 4 sunbursts. I just had to think about that for a minute. So that's actually not too bad. Rami, my orange tabby, is laying on one of them, and I'm not going to remove it from under her. She looks pretty comfortable. She's my co-host today. But I ended up getting 4 of them out of 2 balls, which is pretty decent. I did, and it might be the one, no, it's not. I did have to add in a scrappy yarn here because I played yarn chicken and I lost on the 4th one. So you can definitely see that my yarn is very different, but that's okay. It's okay. It's my blanket and I don't really care. It's a scrappy blanket. I didn't have to even point that out, but I thought I would because I didn't quite get 4 out of it, out of 2 balls, but pretty decent. So I got 4 of this colorway, and then This one here is Burnett Softy Chunky. So, like I said, they are relatively the same in size. The only difference is this one's obviously a little bit like it's not as chunky, which in the blanket you're not even really going to notice. It's going to be fine. So this is Burnett Softy Chunky. This is just like a medium gray. So I had I've got 4 balls in total of this. So I have 6 sunbursts in this color, and that used roughly 3 balls. I still got a little bit of leftover from the 3rd ball. So I got 6 of these. And then this is also Lion Brand. It's called Lion Brand Recycle, which is like a bulky weight yarn. And it's in this beautiful burgundy color. And as I said last time, this one is my favorite. I absolutely love this colorway. So out of this, they come in big balls. I think there's 250 some yards per ball, I believe. And it's like maybe $10 Canadian for that size ball, which to me is pretty decent. So I had 2 balls of it, and I decided that I wanted it in my blanket because I love this color. So I haven't even used up the whole first ball, I don't think. But I got 6 of these. And then I decided that I wanted to hold worsted triple. So that's what I did for these next ones. So I had leftovers from my Comfort Fade Cardi by Mallory. I used Barocco Vintage, which is a worsted, and I just held it triple. So I have 2 different types of greens you can kind of see. So I just held those triple, which gives me a chunky to bulky weight. So I've got 3 of those. So out of my scraps, I managed to get 3 of those ones. And then I really loved the green because it kind of pulls these together. So I ended up going to our local Dollarama, of all places. Now, talk about a yarn snob. I don't really like using yarns from the dollar store. But this one was like $2.50 a ball, and it is definitely a bulky yarn. I think there was 87 yards per ball for $2.50, and it was just the color. It was super soft, and I was like, should I? And I came back around to it, and it was just the color because I knew that it was going to play so well. So I actually grabbed 2 balls of it at $2.50 a ball. I know I'm trying to knit from stash, right? But I decided it, and it's wanting to roll up quite a bit, but I'm hoping that once I go to do the border, it should, and give it a bit of a block, it should be just fine. It is 100% acrylic. These are all acrylics. But I think it'll be just fine. And one of my worries is it going to split? It did not split, so it worked out fine. So I got 2 balls of that, and I ended up getting three circles out of those 2 balls. So that's not bad. That was $5 in yarn. So can't go wrong there. So I got those ones, and I ended up going through my stash, and I need 8 more circles now. So to get the 30, because you need 30 sunbursts. So I do have 2 balls of white. I'm not really wanting to put white in my blanket, but I also have 2 balls of this. So this is Wool Ease Thick and Quick as well. And it's like a beautiful copper colorway. I'm not so sure of it, but according to my family, they say it's going to work. So it's going to be a blanket for everybody in the house. So, and it's a scrappy blanket, right? So I'm just being picky about it, I guess. But I do have 2 balls of this. So I think this is going to go in. And this should give me at least 4 square or circles. And if that's the case and I do have to use the white, then I do have 2 of the white as well. Or I could just hold something like worsted triple again. I haven't figured it out yet, but this is definitely going to go in the blanket next. So yeah, this one here is, they are 106 yards per ball. It is a super bulky yarn. It is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. Okay, I thought it was just acrylic. And the colorway is Spice. Very beautiful colorway. This is very much what I was talking about, fall colors. I love fall colors. They're beautiful. So that is on the go, and I am keeping my fingers crossed. I am going to be working on that today, and I hope to get all the sunbursts done, and then I can start putting the border on it tomorrow, hopefully, or at least this week. So for the border, I talked about it last time. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. I decided to actually purchase yarn for the border because I don't have anything amongst all of my skeins of yarn. I did not have anything that was going to do it. So I just went to Walmart and I purchased some Bernat Softy Chunky. Very affordable. It was $12, $10, $12 Canadian a ball. And these are pretty big balls. It is 400 grams, 431 yards of a chunky weight. And this is just like black. And yes, I did decide on the black. I love black. White or cream would get way too dirty, and I just feel that it's gonna pull all of these colors just together so nicely. I think it's going to work. It's our blanket, right? So it doesn't matter, but so I got that. So I don't know, I think that I will have to possibly purchase another skein because the pattern says you need 600 and some yards for the border. So we will see what happens. I only bought the 1 ball. If I need to, Softy Chunky has like the smaller balls, so that should give me the exact amount of yardage that I need to do the border. So that is pretty exciting. So that has been what's taken up a lot of my crafting time. I have been having a lot of fun with them. They are not hard at all to do. They are super simple. The pattern uses, like I said, a bulky weight, but I'm going between bulky to chunky. If you want to do scrappy, totally just hold your scraps like triple, double, triple to get the right gauge. It uses an 8mm crochet hook. I don't have an 8mm crochet hook, but I do have a 10. So that is what I'm using. So maybe that's why I'm eating up a little bit more yarn too. But it's all good. It's working up. It's getting yarn out of my stash. And we are going to have a beautiful blanket at the end of the day. So it's, well, not the end of this day, that's for sure. But it's going to be lovely, and I am super excited about it. So I did notice that there was a version on Instagram with tassels on it, and I was contemplating that, and then I decided against it because, yeah, cats, no, that's not a good idea. So I'm gonna skip the tassels, but tassels do look pretty cute on it as well. So yeah, I've been having lots of fun with that. So do go check it out, Autumn Coastline. I will have it linked below. And just in case I didn't say it, all the show notes are linked below. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. It's actually nice to be crocheting again. Once I took up knitting, crochet got tossed to the back burner. So it's pretty nice to do that again. So yeah, that's it for the knitting and crochet content of the podcast. I guess the other reason why I haven't been knitting so much is just because, like I said, I've been reading. So I've been reading the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins. I just finished the Mockingjay book yesterday, so that's the third book in the series, and last night we did a kind of a movie marathon. We watched part 1 and part 2 of the Mockingjay on Netflix, so it's a lot of fun to read the book and then watch the movie. Although I will say that the third book is definitely more similar to the movie than the first two. So the first book and the second book, there was definitely differences between the book to the movie. So yeah, it was kind of nice to read the book first and then watch. I enjoy both. Sometimes I hate the movies more than I love the books more, and I hate the movies, but I love both the book and the movie, so no complaints here. So now that I have the Hunger Games series all done, I can now read the newest book, which is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. It is pretty much the story of Cornelius Snow, President Snow in the Hunger Games. So I am pretty excited to get that one going and start reading that. So that is pretty exciting. So that's been my reading material. And I did start a book on my Kindle. I couldn't sleep the other night and I didn't have my book with me. So I started one on Kindle, and I can't even remember the name of it right now, but it's pretty good so far. It's out of my, I've never read a book like that one before, so it's kind of like a crime mystery type book, and I'm actually like really intrigued by it. So far it's pretty good. So I will let you guys know how that one's going. I try to only read one book at a time, but yeah, when you can't sleep, reading is the best thing to put you back to sleep, apparently. And then the other day, we went to a local thrift store, and I saw this book set, E.B. White Treasury, and I just like, I flipped out. I had to get it. It is there's 3 books in the collection. So we've got The Triumphant of the Swan, Stuart Little, and Charlotte's Web. I remember reading Charlotte's Web when I was a little kid, so I am pretty excited. I do have a softcover version of Charlotte's Web, but I don't have the other 2. So when I saw this, I might have flipped out a little bit. So it definitely came home with me, and I am excited to put this in my collection now. So I'm not going to read them right away. I almost pulled out one of the books to start reading it, but I want to jump right into The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm just going to put this in my collection of books, and I will definitely be getting to this and reading it pretty soon. They are classics. So yeah, that has been my reading material. Life stuff, not too much to report. I live a pretty quiet life. That's the way I like it. We've been having a beautiful fall. It's been warm and sunny. We did have several days of rain though, which is to be expected. It just means that you sit in front of the fire and knit and read if you so choose to, which I totally took advantage of. So although I think I did a little bit more reading than I did crafting, but that's okay. But yeah, life's been good. So I am just going to end it there. I didn't get no new yarns to report. I have just placed an order for a grab bag. Angel, my friend Angel has the Northern Pearl. She has an Etsy shop, which I will link down below. She has some knitted socks that she cranked. So she has some of those up for sale. I believe she's still got some tools and that for sale, like knitting needles, crochet hooks and stuff like that, I believe. I haven't looked at the Etsy in a little bit, but I think she's still got stock. But she has 3 grab bags left of Northern Pearl yarn. So, and I think they're a mystery, but you can't go wrong with Northern Pearl yarn. I love it and I hoard it. So I placed an order last night and got a grab bag for myself. So I am super excited to see what's in it. But I did have that, so when it comes in, I will share that with you guys. But other than that, I have been good. I haven't ordered anything. So yeah, nothing to report there. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I hope you have a good weekend and good week ahead. I will see you in 2 weeks. I've been thinking about podcasting every week, but we'll see. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I definitely will see you in 2 weeks. So until then, guys, I hope you have a great weekend and happy knitting. Bye.